Step into our office, James.
Okay.
We'll have our meeting and answer all the questions that you may have and your viewers have.
Sounds great. Hey, what is going on, all you bus nuts, geeks, and enthusiasts out there? Welcome once again to Macedonia at the VDL Van Hool coach manufacturing facility. What a great day it's been. These guys have catered to me. They let me drive 3 different models of the coaches around their property, and we got one heck of a tour. And man, this is an impressive operation. But the one thing I promised you guys before I came to VDL this week was to get some of your questions answered. I know it's been such a big turmoil and a lot of stress. Some of you were nervous, some of you are delighted, but a lot of you had questions on what it meant when Van Hool declared bankruptcy and that it was announced that VDL would purchase Van Hool and be the new owners, and what it means for ABC. So with that said, I have the perfect people here with me today to answer your questions, and we have all of your questions. If I can borrow this real quick, print it out on this list, and we'll mention your names, and we're going to answer some of the questions that you guys asked. Now keep in mind, I got about 500 of these, so I'm not going to make a 2-hour-long video on Van Hool questions, but we picked out some of the really good ones and the most prominent ones that we wanted to address. And with me today, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Slavica Kuzmanovska, Communication Specialist at VDL Van Hool, Macedonia.
Well, James, once again, I'm Miel Timmers, Head of Communications at VDL Group.
Drew Siciliano, Senior Vice President of Sales, ABC Companies.
And yours truly, Pure Charter Motor Coach World. We have just the right people to answer your questions. Now Drew, again, is out of the US. Drew and I traveled here. Miel is from Eindhoven, from the VDL headquarters, which was in our last video we visited. And Slavica works here at Van Hool, and you've been here for how long now?
For a year and a half.
A year and a half, and she's in charge of communications. So between, I think, the 4 of us, we should be able to answer your questions. So without further ado, let's start with the first question.
Well, let's start with Rafael Zok, 8561. Question: will Van Hool survive?
Should I take that one, guys?
Yeah, all you.
Yeah.
They better.
Yeah. Well, the answer, of course, is we already did.
Yeah.
Right? Well, Van Hool did survive. We, again, like James already said, took over parts of the Van Hool company, and so we did survive. Yeah.
And you took over all the plant in Macedonia?
Yes.
So we continue where we didn't actually stop.
Yeah, we didn't stop. We're still building a lot of nice buses here today. You've all seen that it's really busy in the factory.
Yeah.
A lot of people and a lot of buses, parts, everything.
Yeah.
Everything in place. Producing nice vehicles. Yeah.
And how many people?
There are more or less 1,300 colleagues in this factory.
That's a lot.
So there's a point I want to bring up though. So you just mentioned it on the walk-in here to the bus. VDL owns how many companies?
VDL Group has about more than 100 operating companies in 20 countries.
And you acquired this company this year. And what is your largest company with most colleagues?
Well, it's this one, Drew. As a matter of fact, yeah, this one is our biggest, largest company.
That's
with as far as the employees are concerned. Yeah, yeah. For sure.
So Raphael, to answer your question, Van Hool got bought out by VDL, and VDL, although they make buses and coaches, they make thousands of other products. And one of the coolest things that they made, and if you didn't see that video, go back and watch it, was when they took me to their semiconductor facility, VDL ETG.
Correct.
And what does ETG stand for?
It is VDL ETG, VDL Enabling Technologies Group.
Enabling Technologies Group.
Yeah, we're a supplier for the semicon industry.
Very nice. So Raphael, hope that answers your question.
not going anywhere.
Yeah, not going anywhere. They're going to be around.
Next, Slavica.
Next.
Well, Dana Fornstein, 5125. Will VDL be bringing their buses to the States through ABC? Will Van Hool and VDL stay separate with one parent company like Volvo Group and Prevost?
Okay, yeah. Well, I think that's a question. We've seen that question more often, right? From the subscribers.
Popular one.
Popular one. Well, as you know, all know, VDL and Van Hool are two separate brands. Van Hool is a very strong brand, of course, And at VDL we had full focus on Van Hool as a product, as our own products, especially for the North American market, and together here with our strong partner ABC companies.
Okay, next question. Well, this is actually a personal opinion that I'm going to read. Nacy OTube 18. Personally, I think VDL is the best coach company, so it will be cool to see what they will be doing with Van Hool. Also, glad to see you back.
Oh, thanks a lot for the
Yeah.
compliment.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
And I'd even go further on that comment. Even ABC is excited to see what VDL can do with the Van Hool product, right? And so James was mentioning all the capabilities that VDL Group brings to the table. Obviously, they're young into their ownership of the Van Hool motor coach, but so there's really no changes going to be occurring right now, obviously. But going forward, I'm sure a lot of the expertise, a lot of the things that you all bring to the table across all your companies can bring some efficiencies potentially to the manufacturing process, maybe increase the quality, bring new technologies onto the bus. But so we ourselves at ABC, and I know our customers are very excited to see what the ownership of VDL and Van Hool will bring to the North American market with the motor coaches. So.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for the confidence, Drew.
Yes, son.
So, Holly Vasquez 2087. Since Eldorado and Nova Bus left the US market and all that's left is New Flyer and Gillig. Is Gillig right?
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said it really.
Yeah. Gillig doesn't do large orders all in one go, so that leaves New Flyer as the only transit bus maker that would do large orders. My question would be, does Van Hool or VDL as their own brand have thought about entering the North American market?
It's a good question.
True.
Well, Van Hool has transit buses running around
In Europe,
in
In Europe.
well,
they used to have some in the United States as well, but it was not in mass numbers.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So there were some pockets of it, but nothing in mass. So they're not a market making product for sure in the North American market. So the statement is correct. ENC, Novabus, and Proterra have both exited the North American transit market in various reasons. There is a high demand in North America and in the United States specifically to have a third vendor be able to provide transit buses in North America. Van Hool, before the bankruptcy, had interest in utilizing our expertise in ABC to bring a transit bus. We also have an interest to continue that effort, and I know there's probably some more private conversations happening on what that looks like, the timing of that. But I don't think we're shy or scared about saying that is a market that ABC is trying to target, and we're trying to bring products into the table. But I'll let you speak for what you think VDL will be able to do.
Well, in Europe and mostly in Northwestern Europe, we've got we're kind of one of the market leaders in the electrification of public transport. So we build a lot of public transport buses. But it isn't on a short notice. There are no plans to do so for the American market yet. But we never know what will come, of course.
Okay.
yeah, but good question, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. And Kevin Anderson 56558. VDL and Van Hool question. Why didn't VDL honor existing customers' orders who was left out of pocket? Van Hool is strong brand for luxury quality like Mercedes-Benz. And is VDL going to keep the brand in Europe, UK, and are bring new models of Van Hool? Also VDL make fantastic coaches and buses. I do think perfect fit. Just want to know how Van Hool brand staying.
Ooh, a lot of questions.
a lot of
Is
questions.
is the main question more or less what branded bus will be in the U.S.
Yes,
market
what
essentially?
branded bus.
We don't have any plans to change anything with the CX45, the CX35, the E series, right, on the double deck electric, the single deck electric. So we don't have any plans to change anything outside of improving the product. But it's going to be a Van Hool coach. It's going to be a CX coach. We don't have any outlook of changing anything like that. And so I hope the market's not too concerned with that. We've been pretty open and honest about that we're not changing that.
Yeah,
So
fully
And-
agree.
Yeah.
Nothing to add. No.
And also we're going to keep the brand in Europe and UK as well.
Yeah.
So we already announced which types of buses, which models will be able for orders. So you can find it on our website, vdlvanhol.com.
Cool. I'll put that
Yeah.
down in the description box below.
Okay.
Another one. Transit camera. She or he says, thanks for the update, James. I hope the upcoming changes work out well and look forward to updates. I'm going to throw out a couple of guesses. Perhaps PCC is looking to open a third location and or is acquiring some former Coach USA operations. My question for VDL Van Hool is, will they be looking at bringing VDL transit buses into the North American transit market?
Oh, now it's the other side.
Yeah, the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
Well, you should answer the first question, James. Are you opening a third location? Or are you buying any of the... well, you're probably... the Coach USA bankruptcy is already over, so that would have been out by now, so...
Yeah, well, you know, considering I just took ownership of the company, I'm going to say my pocketbook's a little tight right now. But give me some time. I mean, the sky's the limit.
Yeah,
Okay.
and as far as the other question is concerned, well, let's do one thing after each other and not rush things. And again, we've got full focus on the Van Hool models, and for especially for the North American market.
Okay, and now one more. Matthew WB9824. He says, good day, James. Long time no see. Why, James?
What's up, Matthew?
Glad to hear you're enjoying and settling into your new role as CEO over there.
Thank you.
Regarding your trip to the Netherlands, I'd be interested to know in which direction VDL envisages the motor coach industry going with regard to diesel, electric, hydrogen motor coaches and what they're gearing up for in the future in terms of new buses they may offer. I think it will be quite insightful to learn what a manufacturer thinks, especially if they have different plans for Europe and North America in this regard.
Oh,
Okay. Well, it's it all depends on where you use the bus for what, for which distance, for what purpose, I think. And it's also very important to have, is it diesel, electric, or whatever. It's also important where if there is enough infrastructure, of course, to
fit the application, or
fit the application, and everything
to meet the mission.
Yeah, that's true. So that's and we believe that it's it can be next to each other, diesel or electric.
Yeah, and I think as electric technology gets more and more refined, I mean, you know, who knows? We might even see a shift. You know, but right now I think
for public transport it's another story.
Yeah.
It's already in here in Europe it's all electric.
Yeah.
And
that's the one thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Being in Eindhoven, the amount of electric vehicles that are, and the World War II tour we went on, the guy says he has to sell his van by when? 2026?
I don't remember.
Otherwise he can't enter the center.
Yeah, he cannot enter the city.
Yeah.
And what year is that? He said a year. I forgot the year. But he has to buy.
That means you got to buy a new car.
23rd. I've got hybrid.
Oh,
It's hybrid. So it's okay for hybrids.
Yeah.
But you cannot have all
You didn't think about
gasoline.
that, did you?
I think it's 2030, 20. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 2030. I think is
think
what he
2030.
said.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about the year, but something like that. Just for the city center, right?
Right,
For the
right.
city center.
Yeah.
And from my perspective on the U.S. market, we want to be able to provide solutions to all demand, right? Whether it be a electric bus in a commuter scenario, whether it be a diesel bus on a charter or a tour.
It's always rule what our
whatever.
customer wants, right?
You have to find the right tool for the job.
Right.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
what Van Hool does great is they make sure that they have a bunch of tools for all the people that need the different tools.
Right.
It's a diverse set of tools.
And we don't prefer one or the other. We just prefer providing the solution.
Right.
We want to be the solution provider. We don't necessarily put one over the other.
Right.
Some mechanic MC Yaspi says, as a mechanic that works for VDL, we will be happy to see you here in Eindhoven.
Oh, we missed somebody.
Where were you at?
Yeah.
I was there.
We were at the factory.
Yeah. You didn't come and say hi. What was the name?
MC Yaspi, or I don't know how.
MC.
Here.
Yeah, MC Yaspi.
Yaspi.
MC Yaspi. Well, I don't know if you run into.
Here he is.
Yeah, if you run into Emil, you know, you can. He can prove to you that I was actually there. I didn't see you. Next time.
We apologize.
Yeah, next time I'm here, we'll grab lunch. Okay.
Well, and for the record, we're also happy to have you here in Skopje.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
thanks.
you so much.
Thank you very much.
So no other questions?
Well, I don't know.
No mean tweets or anything like that?
Hey James, cool video. I have a question for ABC Van Hool. Your new buses have Google Maps built in and auto brakes built in, but
from my perspective, we're always looking at bringing new technologies into the coach, right? I think that's going to be a dynamic shift as we go through the new ownership. Is what other technologies are in high demand, what other high technologies will improve the product, but we're always willing to listen and understand what the customer's wanting to have in the coach. But obviously it needs to require a certain level of market demand. But new technologies are always
that's a good idea.
Stuff. Yeah.
Google Maps on the screen so people can see where you're at.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of a good idea. Yeah.
Okay. Now I see one question here that I'm not able to answer, but like, if you go to Van Hool, please ask them to stop changing out the cockpit layout on their buses. It's really annoying.
Huh. Well, James, you should comment on the cockpit.
Stop changing. Well, we are sitting in a 2025.
Yep.
And it's got the new cockpit layout. And this is the one with the, what do you call it, the cupola? I call it the cupola. And I guess...
you were in 3 cockpits today, right?
Yeah, I was in 3 different coach cockpits today. And if you didn't see the video, I recommend you go back and watch the video. But as far as the cockpit layouts go, yeah, I guess it's what you get used to, right? To me, it looks a little sleeker, but I get it. I mean, when I get used to a coach, especially as a driver that puts a lot of time behind the wheels, yeah, once the layout changes, you have to kind of relearn something that you've been using for however many years. So I can understand the frustration there, but I personally, if you're asking me, I kind of like the new layout better than the old one, especially the digital screen.
Yeah, the dash.
Yeah, if you watched my video I just made on what all the switches do for Van Hool, the old dash. Did you ever play a Nintendo Game Boy?
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Nintendo Game Boy, that green hue background with the black and the pixelated stuff. Even the little beeps, the 16-bit MIDI beeps.
Yeah, it's almost like the AS400 programs
yeah, exactly.
on the computer.
Yeah, it's like I could pull up Pac-Man on there. So I like the modernization. And the smart wheel to me is a step forward and not back. So.
Okay. Now, let's hope that David Zelaya 2076, a bus operator from San Diego, is satisfied with your answer. Yeah,
and I'm not, hey, no, your opinion is valuable, and if you don't like it, hey, it's good to know. But yeah, I think no matter what manufacturer it is, as you update body styles, kind of people try to stay with the times. Yeah. It's just like me. I have a Toyota Tacoma, the 2023, and when the 24s came out, I hate the way they look. But I have the choice not to buy one. So I get it. You don't have the choice as a driver. You drive whatever the company gives you.
But we should be listening.
Yeah.
We need to listen. So.
Yeah. Maybe if you send us a comment on specifically what you liked on the old dash that you wish was still on the new dash.
Yeah.
And I think, Van Hool would appreciate that. And you never know. It might come out on the next model.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know.
Sure. Now, Russ Aries 5287 says, make sure you ask VDL if they can supply spare parts for any Van Hool products. You may also want to ask them if they will eventually treat all their North American Van Hool customers the same way they have treated their European ones. The way VDL have treated European operators that had Van Hool vehicles on the order during their buyout is totally outrageous. And should serve as warning to North American operators, looking to purchase Van Hool products in the future.
I hear what you said, and I also feel
the frustration.
But the thing is, when customers of Van Hool ordered their bus, and before the bankruptcy, we after taking over the parts of Van Hool. We started the dialogue with all the customers to see where and how we could help them. So we're doing our best for everyone to get things straight.
The U.S. market, VDL already supplies spare parts for us. I mean, we're a buyer of VDL manufactured spare parts. So even before this happened, they've done it in the past. They're going to continue to do it in the future, and we don't have any major disruptions at this point. And so we've been very excited and ecstatic. I don't run the parts company. Our president John Gillis does that, and so. Let us know if specifically there's any specific concerns in your question that we could maybe answer and drill into versus the open-ended understanding of the question. So
Yeah, and maybe in the description box, if you guys can supply me with a contact or an email, for us, I'll put it down there. And if you want to email this person directly, you know,
we wouldn't mind at all.
Yeah.
Now one more from a Dutch person living in the US.
Uh-oh.
So Hool 3023. I would love to see VDL come to the US one day.
Ooh.
I'm Dutch since it cooperates with the Dutch truck manufacturer DAF, which in itself is part of Packard.
Yeah, well, it's always good to know that we have also got some ambassadors, of course, of VDL in the States. So keep up the good work, and of course we hope that by this this new cooperation with VDL Van Hool, and the ABC, to have a lot of new and more ambassadors in the States. So let's keep up the good work.
Yeah. Represent. Well, guys, thank you so much for writing to me and asking all the questions to VDL and Van Hool. I hope you guys got something out of the series between Eindhoven, VDL's headquarters, to Macedonia, where I'm at now, the actual production facility, and all the things you see. I hope you guys have a better insight on the unsureness and all the questions that came up when the word bankruptcy appeared. And I'm not going to say much other than the fact that I want you guys to decide after seeing what I portrayed here. It's important to me because I'm not an advertiser. I'm just a bus nut that talks about buses on the internet. And so I look forward to the questions you guys have from this video. And again, if you guys could provide me with an email or a contact that they can reach out to directly. And please put your question on the comments too, because I want to hear what you guys are going to ask VDL Van Hool moving forward.
Yeah, we'll try to close the loop on the questions, right?
Yeah, they can answer much better than me.
No problem.
Yeah, but if you ask me a lot of questions, it's another way for me to see if I can get another trip out here. Because I really had a lot of fun. So thank you guys very much for your time and your hospitality. This has been a blast.
If you're watching this, you're part of the motor coach world. Thank you.
They stole my line.
Yeah. Darkness.